As we mentioned as we headed into break, TNA is in a little bit of turmoil right now. And after coming off that big show, Hard to Kill, where they sold everything out in, at the Palms, ticket sales were a little bit shaky, for Rebellion here, even though they did a massive media blitz, had Nick Nemeth come in and challenge for the world championship. Well, here's what happened last week, guys. And this is a very, well, shall we say, intriguing situation to say the least. So here's what went down. A couple of releases in the main office for Anthem. David Sahadi was let go. He had been a creative director with them for almost 2 decades. He is out. Lou D'Angeli, who was their vice president of marketing and pretty much headed up a lot of the setting up the live events, he is out. He's been there forever. And then R.D. Evans, who had pretty much been the head of their creative for a very long time as well, resigned. So the house has been cleaned at Anthem, and it has really got a lot of people shaken up. They're kind of wondering what the heck is going on. And a lot of the performers are kind of wondering what happened, what's going on here. This is kind of weird that everybody that has been there forever has disappeared. And of course, still a mystery as to what, the firing of Scott D'Amore just a little while right after that big show here in Vegas. I mean, it's pretty crazy what's up with TNA. But then, of course, you got this relationship with WWE, and many people are speculating that maybe Anthem's looking to sell to WWE, which, other than getting the tape library, doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense. But of course, that's what they did with WCW. They bought it and killed it. Reuben, is TNA in trouble?
I wouldn't say that TNA's in trouble. I think that the writing does appear to be being put on the wall for a sale of TNA. I think that there's been a lot of turnover and turmoil within all of the wrestling promotions in the last 5 years. And it's just a shift in the paradigm of what the business is about. I don't think that they're necessarily going under. I think that they may just be positioning themselves to change ownership, which you see a lot, right? We saw this with WWE when they changed ownership. We saw this with AEW when they changed ownership. So I think that it's not necessarily doom and gloom. It's just, there's something that is about to happen.
Yeah, and it's not like they aren't selling tickets at other places too. They had, Slammiversary's coming up on July 20th, and they announced after 48 hours of ticket sales up there in Montreal, they've sold more tickets for this show than any TNA show in the past 10 years. They have a capacity of over 4,000 seats, and they had to open up more seats than what they had set up for that. So they've got some big ticket sales for that. And they do have these shows that, I got the advisories for their shows coming up in Tampa and Philadelphia, but they do not have anything scheduled until right now, until after August. So this is intriguing. I'm wondering what's going on. And, I do wonder, if, let's just speculate for a second that WWE would be buying TNA. How many of the performers would actually survive that? I don't know how many of them WWE would keep, because honestly, a fair amount of them have already been in WWE and WWE released them.
Yeah.
So it would be kind of weird. I mean, could you imagine if Nick Nemeth was there and, got the WWE bought TNA and there he is again? I mean, how weird would that be?
I mean, I don't know if it's that weird. I think that there is a reasonable expectation when you're just in the business in general that, sometimes you switch companies every once in a while. Like, I don't think that's that weird. We've had a number of superstars, start in WWE or come to WWE, leave, and then return. So, I think that it's perfectly reasonable to have both.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see what's really up with this. I don't know. I think maybe everybody's reading into this a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Because of and a lot of reports are saying that WWE and TNA are kind of taking this really slow, and they're trying to figure out the details on it, because it was funny, a lot of the TNA talent and the WWE talent were like, oh, I want to take you on, Drew McIntyre and Moose were going back and forth a little bit because they've done their thing back when Drew was in TNA, and there's a lot of speculation about some really cool match possibilities, and I'd love to see Josh Alexander walk into a WWE ring. I mean, how much fun would that be to have a walking weapon roll in there and finally get to, get him against a Roman Reigns or something like that, or a Sheamus?
Yeah. I mean, wrestling fans are more educated and smarter about the other businesses and the other companies now than they've ever been. So if Joe Hendry shows up at Clash at the Castle, people are going to know who he is, right? Like, all of that is a reasonable expectation.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I would love to see Joe Hendry there.
I mean, I believe in him.
I believe in Joe Hendry too. Did you see what you guys, I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter, or X, excuse me, what I did in the Sonic drive-in line, by the way. You can check that out on my X account at Mark Hoke. But yes, Joe Hendry was involved in my 40-minute wait at the Sonic. I did.
Wild.
Yes. So, and I know Joe appreciated that. So, but yeah, Joe in Scotland at Clash at the Castle. Oh, what a moment that would be for him.
He's Scottish, right? Or is he? Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'd be fun.
That would be a lot of fun. So we'll see what happens, but that is pretty intriguing. But I do hope that they, no matter what, that they remain an independent company, and things keep going. It's okay to have a relationship, and that's cool, but let's not merge the houses.
Sure.